Hello, Mr. Terry. We had a nice day yesterday at parks, both of us, at Gulfstream Park, both of us having hit the pick fours. Both the horses we thought would win that we singled up in our bets, both won as well. But despite all that happiness yesterday, it's with a heavy heart that we opened up today's show. We consider everybody to be part of the horse racing family that joins us here. One of those family members is George Allen Bryant. He's been a guest on the Horse Center show a couple of times, I think 3 or 4 times. Funny, vibrant young man. If you remember, Terry had throat cancer. They cut out parts of his tongue. Very upbeat despite his situation. He did move on to the next life last night. So may your soul rest in eternity, George Bryant. We certainly enjoyed our time, no matter how limited it was, together.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was definitely a good guy. I got that text from Sean this morning, and that was really kind of a sad way to start my day.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you get an upbeat guy who's gone through a lot in his life, and yet he hasn't lost focus on the things that matter. And a lot of times life gets in the way, right? You got money, health problems, your boss is an ass, whatever. You lost a photo, but in the end, really none of it matters. If you haven't had a chance to yet, I would encourage everybody to go watch Steve Jobs' commencement speech at Stanford. It's incredible. If you're having a tough day, it motivates me every time. And something else that's going to motivate me today, Terry, it looks like Race Masters. He says he's going to monitor what we're doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to verify that we know what we're doing. I think we know what we're doing. Sometimes it doesn't show that we know what we're doing, but both of us have plenty of experience, and hopefully we can have another solid day today. Free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet is Louisiana Downs. I feel like there's some good winners on that card today. There's a link in the description down below. Kindly click on that so they know from where it is you are coming from. And on a GPF Cajun Connection, well, I think if you're going to bet in Louisiana, Cajun Connection is probably a good place to get started. That's where we're going to start. Indeed, we had a nice day yesterday, Christopher. Hopefully you have another one of those today. You're up 4-3. Yeah, I think that's over. You guys are going to have a new series. Let's go ahead and get cracking with Gulfstream Park today. Race number 1. Hopefully we can bring some cheer to everybody on this terrific Terry Thursday.
All right. Well, it's 1.70 miles on the all-weather track. Maiden claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, $24,000 purse for maidens, fillies, 3-year-olds.
Indeed, at 1.70 miles, I think there's 4 races, so almost half the card today at $1.70 on the synthetic. So pay attention to how this one plays out. Overall, usually the profile of the winner does favor early speed. About a quarter of the horses, nearly 1 in 4, takes the field wire to wire. Post positions 1, 2, and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4, 5, 6, and 7, they get squeezed a touch. Man, if you wear an 8 or out, that's a really tough spot to be. 10,000 simulations. Terry looking for some simulation odds that are lower than post-time odds. Yesterday's opening race, if you remember, we talked about the value 2.5 exacta, and it hit for $27, I think, for $1. Not too bad. That's why we put those numbers there. We're also, based upon those 10,000 simulations, calculating how frequently they run a speed figure at par or above for this level. That number being 70, so not a very difficult hurdle to achieve for decent horses. Speed being a factor. We talked about 1 out of 4 going wire to wire, so you better know who's going to be near the lead. We tell you which horse has which chance to get there, and then based upon that projected pace, comfort zone, how likely it is the horse to get a race that mirrors its best performances. Terry, it looks like there's plenty of speed in this race, but one might be just a touch quicker than the rest.
Yeah, that's right. That 7 horse shows the most speed. The 3 and 2 follow up with that. All of them have some speed except for the 4 and the 6. And then the 2 shows an overlay from even money to 2-1. The 5 shows an overlay from 8-5 to 9-2. The 2, 5, and 1 all have par plus numbers. And then all but the 2 show some kind of C-zone numbers.
Yeah, it's of course that's the one I have on top there. Along with all of our simulations. We do what they call trip handicapping, where the horse wants to be on the track, where it's performed its best. 3-5, there are co-pilots. We don't have a pure pilot in here. Nobody that wants to be or is lead dependent. A couple of closers with the 1, 2, and 4. The 6 and 7, in their limited experience, have not finished within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. When the race gets started, speed matters. Terry, it does look like that 7 horse, Affectionate, is the fastest of the bunch. Just a quick step or two quicker than our Magic Princess. Late speed, Terry, that 7 better find something else. Otherwise, that might hold that lead temporarily. My Little Secret, In a Blink, and Spirit of Victory, those 3 with considerably more, at least 1 length more late speed than the rest. Our top total pace horse in here, Terry, is My Little Secret, followed by Spirit of Victory. About a 4-point advantage there for My Little Secret. So that's about a potential 3/4 of a length win if the race goes along the pace, which our good friend Chris Parmelou says it's all about. What do you think it's all about?
Well, I like number 4, In a Blink. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and her best all-weather dirt speed, all-weather track speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with another. 2, Spirit of Victory is my second choice. She drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. The 1, Mi Amor, is my third pick. Finished third versus similar in her last race. Has the highest last speed rating, and her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with the 4. And then the 5, My Little Secret's my long shot, drops in class today, and her best all-weather speed is close to the average winning speed. And as we do every day, we're going to play $2 to win on our first choice, a $1 exacta with our first 2 choices boxed, and then a 50-cent trifecta box with our first 3, and then a 10-cent superfecta box with our first 4 picks.
I don't know. What is that free info from Taylor Brown? Free info on what, my man? Without knowing what it's about, I'd be hesitant to click on anything because nowadays people might come into your computer and take over, right?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that. Christopher D'Souza going with My Little Secret, your long shot. My 4th pick as well, Terry. My first pick in here is going to be the 2 horse, that overlay, Mr. Terry. Spirit of Victory, that's what we want in the opener. This one is a class dropper. Last time out, showed some improved in pace early in the race and then again in the end of the race. So maybe if it gets a little bit more fitness today, can improve from beginning to end. Affectionate, that 7 horse Terry. I really contemplated putting this guy on top. This is one of those horses that ran once as a 2-year-old, showed some speed, then faded. Obviously, it bled. They put it on the sidelines. They're going to come back as a 3-year-old, giving it first-time Lasix, and it is a maiden special weight dropper. So that Lasix should help it hold its speed. The 1 horse, Mi Amor, last time out, this horse hit par for this race. It was the top last race speed figure. 3 points clear of the next closest horse and going to ride the rail, which gets a little bit of a bonus. Then finally, tough call for me for the 5 over the 4, but I'm going to go with My Little Secret. This one's only making her 3rd career start, does have some strong workouts in between races. So Christopher D'Souza, your 5 horse with a lot of room to improve today, maybe the most in the race. Now they're crossing over, Terry, to the all-weather surface. Looks like they're about to load for race number 1. So our timing just about perfect. Tomorrow, probably around 5 o'clock Eastern, myself and 22-1 Thomas will get back together again for a little bit of deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra said. We're going to do Rose Hill down in Australia for our Foreign Fridays. Man, if we can do anything remotely close to what we did at Rose Hill last week, it's going to be amazing. And I think the race down there that's really we're focusing on, it's the richest 2-year-old race in the world. So you're going to be some high quality, good young horses in that race, and probably going to be like 45 horses deep with 1 race experience. So picking the winner in that should be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
So right now, the 2 horse is a slight favorite at 2-1, Terry. And then the 5 horse looks like it's next at 7-2. And then you have the 4 horse and the 7 horse both at 5-1. They're often running in the opener, and the 5 horse, My Little Secret, is the one that did kind of blurt out to the lead there. So that second race improvement looking like it's a possibility today. The 7 horse, that second, first 30-year-old start on Lasix is in second. The 2-horse right now, Spirit of Victory, the favorite or one of the favorites, is now in third. The 4-horse, Terry's top pick, In a Blink, running comfortably in fourth. Down on the rail, you have Mia Moore, which is the favorite, to its outside. It's a 3-horse, Our Magic Princess, and then all the way in the back is the 6, Jess's Moment. Opening quarter in about 24 and a half seconds, so they're not going all that fast. The 5 continues to hold the lead, and the cameraman goes to the worst angle in horse racing right now. Looks like the 5 horses continue to hold the lead. The 7 is moved up alongside. Opening quarter in about a half, in about 49 seconds, so they're not going all that fast. The 5 horse still has plenty of a hold on his horse. 7 horse is being asked for more, so don't look like he's going to get the job done today. Looks like the 1 horse, the favorite, coming up on the outside. 4 horse, Terry, looks like it's tailing off a little bit. The one that's moving with the least amount of effort right now is the 2. He's going to have to split the 5 though, and the 1. Looks like he's going to go. He's going to try to. And it's a tough call between. The jockey hasn't made up his mind yet. So the 1 horse is the one that's going to run off with this race. It's going to go 1, and then 2, and then I think the 6 horse might end up in third. It's tough to say because he's racing with the 4. Yes, 1, 2, 6, 4, 5, and then 7. 1, 6, 2. 1, 2, 6, 4. That's the opener. 1, 2, 6, 4.
All right.
And the bettors on the ground obviously had something in mind with Mia Moore, making it the favorite from the 7-2 morning line. Like the 7 horse, maybe a drop in class with the Lasix next time around. We'll see. The 4 horse, not an inspiring run from anybody besides the 1, the 2. Maybe circle that 6 horse. It was the longest shot on the board. Made a nice run at the end for a future bet. Hey, Saul, how are you today, my man? Saul Barajas, 245 box in the opener there. Where are you calling us from, Saul? If you're watching on Twitter, kindly go over to Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. I'll put a link up in the description a little bit later on. Subscribe over there. We're like 100 people short of 5,000. Help us get to 5,000. And then from there, our goal is to double it to get to 10,000 to really grow Horse Racing Today Nation and to get better algorithm scores. Race 2, Terry. What are we doing here?
Well, this is a turf race, and it's a 1 mile turf race. It's a maiden $89,000 purse, and it's for maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And the profile of that 1 mile winner, 1 full complete circle around the track there. But the way you get the job done in that race is to have stalking ability. You want to be in the front half, not necessarily on the lead, but if you are on the lead, you have about a 19% chance, 20% chance to go wire to wire. The rail for Princess Cairo stinks. That's the way I put it, Terry. Everything else plays kind of fair. So it looks like the only deal killer is for the 30-1 shot there, Terry. Anything from the 31 shot that you see here in the data, the 10,000 simulations that say maybe it outruns those odds?
Yeah, well, it does have some speed. The 5 has the most speed, but then it's followed up by the 1. So if that 1 can get out of that gate, might do some good there. The 4 has an overlay of from 2-1 to 9-2, and the 5 has an overlay from 5-2 to 4-1. The 4 and 5 both have good par numbers, followed up by the 6, and then the 6, 3, 1, 6, 3, 5, 1, 9 all have C zones.
Yeah, no gringo horse in here, but pretty close with Justice Julia. That 6 horse being, you see, a 1-1 favorite in that race. As far as our trip handicapping is concerned, that 1 horse, hey, maybe that's the way that long shot can outrun that rail penalty. It could be Lone E. So if that one gets to the front, you got a couple that want to pressure. The 6 and 9, they so far in their limited careers want to close. 2, 5, and 8, they have not been within 5 lengths of the winner when they stop to take the photo early on. Well, the 7 going to give it a crack for the first time, but Justice Julia a little bit quicker than Princess Cairo. So being on the inside with the 3 in there with a little pace and the 2 with a little pace, the 1 might get that Lone E position. In the end of the race, looking for bargains. Might not be a bargain odds wise, but does have the most late speed. Z-Train will be giving chase too. Might be a little bit ahead of that one. So could give that one a little bit of difficulty to go by. It could block it in. as far as our top total pace horses go, Terry. You got 4 of them that are 7 points clear of the rest. Just reviewing the numbers today, about 72% of the time, the winner comes from this group right here, Terry. And I know that you started the group with the 6 horse.
I did. Looking for bargains. She ran second versus similar in her last race, has the best turf speed among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, Justice Julia. The 5, she drops in class today. Her dam has 2 winners from 3 starters, but unfortunately no turf winners so far, so maybe this will be the first one. She has a high percentage winning trainer who has 23% of the races when using first-time Lasix. Number 4, Versify. Yeah, Versify. She has the highest last speed rating. She has a high percentage winning jockey and a good workout on March 10th. And then the 7, Miss Lady de Vega. She is a first-time starter whose breeding suggests she'll like the grass, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4 as we do for Don Johnson and anybody else that wants to. Yesterday, Rich's pick 4, first pick 4, paid $455.70. But I'm going to single the 6, then I'm going to go with the 2, 3, 4 with the 4, 6, 7. And I'm going to finish up with the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8, which is a $27 ticket.
Yeah, and note that we're keeping all of our tickets $50 or under. That's the goal here. I know on TVG, I think we were told by Matt Carruthers that number is $60 on TVG. So we're going to try to even be better than they are, Terry.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the 5 horse top selection here. I'm going to try to beat that even money favorite. I almost put the 4 horse on top of it too. This one, much like the 7 in the first race, I'm going to try that angle again. If first you don't succeed, try again. 2-year-old, bled, first Lasix for its 3-year-old debut. If she can build on that debut at all, I don't think there's any problem for this horse to get past par and get past this field. If I remember that too, that one came out of a race at Saratoga on the 5 horse. Let's look and see. Yeah, came out of Saratoga. And we had that with that 5 horse the other day. So maybe we can repeat that. Looking for bargains. There's that 1-to-1 shot, Terry. Just missed by a head at this level in her last race. Does have a couple of workouts in between there. Should be more fit to make up that head. Versify. Again, I really contemplated putting this one on top of the 6. Not because I think it's a better horse, but it's going to give me better odds. The last 4 races, it did up its speed figure. Again, Barry Meadow says 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row or more is the angle that hits at more than 15%. Does have a very strong workout between races, and I think you'll see some improvement in the 3rd start after a layoff. Finally, Z-Train, the 9. It was a tough call for me over the 3 horse, but did show some improvement through the first half mile of its last race, and since then put its strongest published work on paper. So I think you're going to see another horse that shows more in its 2nd start after layoff. My pick 4, I put the 6 in there, but I really hope not to go against you, Terry, that something other than the 6 wins. So I went the 4, 5 with the 1, 2, 5, and 6. And then I went with a single with the 7. And of course, in that race, Terry will be rooting for something else. And then close it out with the 2, 6, 7, and 8. You can see both of us think that last race is pretty open.
Yeah, you actually started with the 4, 5, 6. So you do have the 6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying that I hope I don't want this pick 4 to start with a 3 to 5.
I know.
Mm-hmm. So you got the 2, 4, 5 in there. Hey, Umet, how are you? So that's in race 2, I hope. So we know where we're at. And then Umet, hey guys, where's your picks today? Umet, what are we looking for here? And then our guy Race Masters, who's going to check on our work, double check in QC, Terry and I, says all day long he's going to play 2, 4, 6 at Gulfstream Park, but he had to go to the store to go buy some winning picks besides the 2, 4, and 6, Terry.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Race number 3. Maybe the 2, 4, or 6 will get the job done in race number 3. What are they going to, again, and I mentioned there's quite a few of these today. So take us through the conditions again.
Yeah, another 1.70 miles, all weather track, claiming 12,500, purse 24,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races or which have not won a race since September 21st, 2023.
And yeah, once again, $170 on the synthetic tells you that you're looking for stalkers. A good chunk, about 1 out of 4 go wire to wire. So if you get to the front, you have a good chance. Terry, especially if you're in post positions 1, 2, or 3. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. If you wear that 8 out again, it's a really, really hard place to get the job done. In race number 3, we have not 8 horses, so you don't have to worry about those outside posts. And every single one of them with some chance, Terry, to set the tone when the gates open and the synthetic flies.
Yep, all of them have speed, but the 5 and the 3 show the most speed. The 2 has an overlay from about 3 to 5 to 7 to 5. And then the 2 has the only par plus number. And then all but the 1 shows some kind of C zones.
And Umet says, forget the C zone, forget the par plus, forget the chances the horse doesn't have a chance to get the lead. It is his play of the day. So everybody mark that down. And when you're doing your handicapping, give that one some extra consideration. Trip handicapping for the 3rd race tells us that, well, you got 2 that want to be up on the front. Everybody in the middle and the back, although the 2 and 6 as PC types do have some versatility. If the 3, 5 go too slow, they can put some heat on. If they go too fast, they can show some patience. It should favor the front runners in here, Terry. Looks like the 2 horse, Leany Kate, along with the 5, Runaway Breeze, are the 2 quickest. So of that group up here, the 3 might be the one that finds the pace uncomfortable. Our late speed belongs to Tapple Cider, along with the 1 horse, Umet's top choice there. They're going to be as much as maybe 2 lengths off the lead when the race gets going, Terry. Our top total pace tells us the Runaway Breeze and the 2, Leany Kate, are a little bit better than the 6, 1, and 4. And it looks like he can put an X through that 3, especially if he doesn't get the lead, Terry. And we're both going to start it off with the same guy.
Well, number 2, yeah, Leany Kate's my first choice. She has the highest last speed rating. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 21% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and she switches a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to take that X horse, the 3, as my second choice of a ring thing. She has finished in the money in 4 out of her last 5 starts, so she's a competitive horse. Her early running style helps her chances. Distance won't be a problem. Nanny Fanny, the 4, is my 3rd pick. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last start. And then Tapple Cider, the 6, is my long shot, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey.
So if we look at our picks, Terry, this is interesting. We both start with the 2, but we have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. So one of us, Terry, is guaranteed to have the winner in there. Maybe it'll be the 2 or the 6, the 2 that we both agree on. I think the 2 horse is the one to beat here too, Terry. Leany Kate. Been a few days since we had one of these, Terrys, but it is one of those gringo horses. Green, well, kind of green and more green. Those horses have done very well. This one's been off since October, so that's the concern that it comes back and has to shake off a little bit of dust, but the workouts suggest she should be solid. Tapple Cider, this one's going to drop in class, Mr. Terry. Should be surging at the end of the race, and the all-weather is where it is at for Tapple Cider. 7 times out, 2 wins, 3/3. And then if you put that horse on any other surface, 12 times, 1 win, 1 second, nothing else. This horse will be running on to PETA for the rest of its life. The 1 horse is my next choice, the top choice for Umet Kosea, maybe something like that. Very consistent performer, occasionally big pop to the upside. If we see that big pop in this race, Umet will have the winner on his ticket. This one absolutely has the best all-weather back class. And then the 5 horse, Runaway Breeze, might not look like it on paper, Terry, but this one has a really good shot to be the pace setter where 1 out of 4 go wire to wire. It's also our top total pace horse. So get the lead. Very comfortable on that lead with that strong C zone. Total pace says Runaway Breeze can handle it. Again, our only bets are going to be $1 to $2 to win on our top pick, $1 exacta box top 2 picks, 50-cent trifecta box top 3 picks, and then a 10-cent superfecta box for all of our picks. And that only cost $8.40, right, Terry?
That's right. Yeah, they've been doing pretty well. So
race 3 at Gulfstream, number 2 to win for Ivan Perez. He's going to put $100 on that one. So triple-digit bet for Ivan Perez. Live racing. So, Kimberly, what do you mean live racing? What's going on over at the live racing, Kimberly? Can you share with us what's going on? Because I'm not the biggest fan of having folks go ahead and click on something that we are unfamiliar with. So, is it international racing? What sort of racing, Kimberly, are we talking about? Kindly share that with us. We'd appreciate it. All right, Terry, let's share our thoughts for race number 4.
All right. So this race here is another mile and 70 yards, all weather. It's a maiden claiming race, $12,500 claiming price, $22,000 purse. It's for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
We've heard it 3 times in 4 races. Stalkers, inside, best place to be. Don't wear number 8. About 1 out of 5 go wire to wire. Terry, in race number 4, you don't have to worry about number 8. There is a little bit of a scratch in here, and a couple of them with the most speed.
Yeah, that's right. The 4 has the most speed, as you can see. And then the 3 has the overlay from about 7 to 5 to, 7 to 2 to 8 to 1. And the 7 has an overlay from, that's about 6 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 7, 3, 6, and 4 all show par numbers. And then all but the 1 have some kind of C zones.
Just in case you're new, joining us for the first time, Par Plus, we do 10,000 simulations. That means when we did our 10,000 simulations, battling bubbles, our good friend Charles, since he's gone in the bathtub, battling bubbles for sure. right, Charles? But anyway, this one has a 31% chance, or 3,100 times out of 10,000 in our simulations. It ran a speed figure of 72 or more. That's what that stands for. We're looking at our trip handicapping here, Mr. Terry. We see the 4-horse off here on its own, shopping at Bloomy's. That one, yep. If it can get the lead, Loney, my friend, does look like that one has a shot to be forward, although the 5, Miss Holly, going to give it a lot of work to get to the front. That 5, though, is going to have to find some late speed to hold off the likes of Battling Bubbles. Charles will be coming hard at the end there, Terry. And then, of course, our top total pace says Battling Bubbles, 5 points clear of the next closest horse on here. Going to have to make a case to go from worst to first to win by as much as a length. Terry, can the 7 get it done?
Well, I don't know, maybe, but I like over the 7 shopping at the Bloomies. The 4, she ran second versus similar in her last race. Her early running speed style will help her chances, and she'll like this shorter distance. And then Battling Bubbles, that 7 you referred to, finished third versus similar in her last race. She has a trainer who wins 18% of the races in route races a horse he trains runs in. And then she has a high percentage winning jockey. Take it to the south, the 6. She drops in class today, has a trainer who wins 20% of the races when dropping a horse off of a win. That's my third choice. And my long shot is the 1. LTE start winner or light start winner. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and her best all-weather speed is close to the average winning speed. So
I'm going to start off with that 7-horse, Terry. That's my top selection. Battling Bubbles. Top last race speed figure, 8 points better than the next closest horse. All of its race internals last time out, from the beginning to the middle to the end, were improved from the prior start. Just real quick, highlight what we mean by that, at least what I mean by that. You see here, 72, 70, 83, all better than 63, 63, and 69. Almost certainly the sign of a horse that's improving. And that horse has 3 workouts since then, so should be more fit. And we saw it was a top total pace horse by 5 points. I'm hoping that I get 5 to 2 odds on that one. The 4-horse shopping at Bloomy's, that one's going to probably get on the front in the third start after a layoff. Everyone will have to chase down a horse that's run on the all-weather a couple of times with a second and third there. And it's another one that showed signs of improvement last time by increasing its pace in the first half mile. Take it south, the 6-horse. So you and I have the same 3 horses at top, just a little different order. This is the only horse in the field that's dropping in class. Very consistent performer. Problem for me not putting this one any higher is it's been off since August. Could be a little bit rusty, and the workouts were just okay. Finally, Miss Holly, the 5-horse, 10 to 1 morning line. Good shot to be towards the lead right there. Its second up history says this horse has potential for either a really big jump off the first race off the bench or small regression. Last time out, the fractions might have been a little bit too hot as the horse got towards the front and then faded. It doesn't catch those hot fractions today in a field where maybe only the 4 is going to press. Could see that horse stay on at the end, Terry. I'm going to spend some of my extra money right here because we have a $100 budget, which includes our $2 win bet, our $1 exacta bet, 50-cent trifecta bet, 10-cent superfecta bet. With my excess cash, $1 pick 3, 7, then all, and then 4, 5, Terry. So if it comes through, I'll have it twice.
All right.
Let's see. Scary. Good to see you again, my friend. My long shot for the day is number 5, Miss Holly. According to the Briz, has run the fastest ever on synthetic. Forgive her last race, first race in a long time. I agree with you. I think that one has a pretty good shot, Scary, and hope it doesn't just can finish second. That would be beautiful. Then I can still get my pick 3.
Yeah.
Race 5, Terry. Are we going to do the mile 70 yards again?
I don't. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's cut back to 7.5 furlongs. It's on the turf. It's an optional claiming race, and if you want to put your horse in there to be claimed, $50,000 claiming price. Purse $39,000 is for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have started for a claiming price of $35,000 or less since March 21st, 2022, or a claiming price of $50,000.
Yeah. So if you have Terry's lunch money and you wanted to buy a horse, right there you would see the $50,000 as an optional claiming in the Brisnet sheets. I don't think there's a horse in here for a claim today, so you'll have to buy that horse privately if that's what you want to do. So none of them are in for a claim. 7.5 furlongs on the grass at Gulfstream Park. The type of horse that wins, the profile of a winner, favors early speed a bunch. Terry, 27 out of 100 go gate to wire. There's a little bit of a rail bonus for Mihalik, if that's how you pronounce that name. 2 through 7 play under par, 8 and out, but there is a scratch. That was the best place to be, Terry. So it looks like the rail could have a little bit of an edge, but it doesn't look like it has the speed. That looks like it belongs on the outside a little bit.
It sure does. It belongs to that 7 horse. And then the 8 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 8 to 1, which is pretty nice. All of them but the 2 and 4 show some kind of par plus numbers, and they all have C-zone numbers.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty competitive spot here. We do have another green go horse in here, maybe, Terry. That's 7 horse. Sogno di Campione. Pace-wise, well, the 8 and 7, Terry, if they can get to the front, they could have a good shot at a track where really almost 3 out of 10 go wire to wire. 4, 5, and 6 with some versatility. The 1 and 2 might be locked into closing. Early speed tells us the 1 and 2 will have to close. They're going to be on the back. Border Town, that PC type, could get to the front if Sogno di Campione or Fighter for the Win don't take the mantle early on. Late speed does belong to Eyes on the Target, although that 8 horse right up in there, Fighter in the Win, going to be right there too, along with the 1 horse. So the 2 that will close should close. Finally, our top total pace horse is Fighter in the Win. A little bit better than Border Town, which is a little bit better than Sogno di Campione. And then the 2 horse here, 5-point drop off. So 2, 6, 7, 8, Terry. Those 4 look like where the winner should come from. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the 8 Fighter in the Win. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park and has the highest last speed rating. And he switches to a high percentage winning trainer and has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 2, Eyes on Target, is my second choice. Likes Parks Racing, finished in the money in 71% of the races he's had here and won 29% of those starts. The distance won't be a problem as he's finished in the money 60% of the time and won 20% of the races. Number 6, Border Town, drops in class today. It can improve at the shorter distance, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And then the 1, Mihalik, he won his last race at Gulfstream Park, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. He's my long shot.
I think the 7 horse. I'm going to go with the green go, Sogno di Campione. I know he's not the sim favorite like the 8 horse, but I like that green go horse. Way better early speed last time out. Maybe a little bit too much early speed. So we can dial it back just a little bit. The maintenance work in between races should increase the late race stamina. 6 horse, Border Town, second call for me, Terry. That par plus score off the charts there. Going to drop in class here today. The last time he ran at this level, which is probably the reason I didn't put him at first. I mean, the last time he ran at this level, he did win. So I contemplated putting him first. But even though he has the class on the Gulfstream grass 4 times and yet to find the board. So is class or track form going to win out in this one? Fighter for the win. 5 consecutive speed figure increases. Terry, there's another one of those Barry Meadow angles. It's a really good workout between races and is the sim favorite. Terry could hit at a nice price for you. And finally, eyes on the target, the 2-horse. I really thought about putting this guy first, Terry. Gulfstream Park on the grass, 7 races, 2 wins, 3/3. It does have the best published workout and all of the workout lines in between races. So that one should come back better off than he went to the bench to last time. I think we have enough time, Terry, to do the next race. It says they have about 5 minutes, but 2 minutes. Scary Creations, Fighter in the Win is in Synthetic Monster, 0 for 10 on the turf. Then we have Christopher D'Souza. He likes the 6, the 7, and the 2. It says we got a minute, so that means 5 minutes down there in South Florida land. So let's go off to race number 6. Terry, is that what we're going to do now?
Yep. And we shorten up to 5 furlongs on the all-weather track, optional claiming race of $35,000 claiming price. If you like to put your horse in there to be possibly claimed, and the purse is $37,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have started a claiming price of $25,000 or less since March 21st, 2022, or a claiming price of $35,000.
So if 50K, Terry, is your walk around lunch money, is 35K the tip money?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I know what I'm talking about. All right, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. You better be fast and have those jets on early on, because a full 40% of the time you get to the lead at the quarter-mile marker and you will not see the backside of another horse. A little bit of a rail bonus for Sonicus. 2 through 7, a little bit of a penalty. If there's an 8er out, that's the best place to be, Terry, because they win disproportionately in race number 6. We only got 6 horses, so we don't have to worry about that. But there are quite a few in here that have, I mean, they all have some chance to get the lead.
Yeah, they all show some speed, but I think it's going to be head-to-head with that 4 and that 5. The one has a small overlay, very small overlay, for 2.3 versus 5 versus 5 to 2, and the 4 has an overlay from about about 4 to 5 to
about 1 to 2, yeah. Somewhere,
I'm sorry, 1 to 2, yeah, to about 7 to 5. And then the 4 has the only par number in here, and it's a nice par number, par plus number. All but the 5 shows some kind of decent C-zone numbers.
There's another one of those green goes. Admiral Hopper, green, green, green. Go to the window. Bet on that one. Total pace in terms of our race shape. Look, nobody's really lead dependent in here, Terry. They're all some versatility, except for Peach Cobbler, which wants to pressure the leaders. Early on in the short sprint, you would imagine everybody's going to be mixed up in there. There's only 6 points gap between the top horse and the bottom horse. Spin your wheels, get off to a slow start, whatever. Could be the difference between being first or worst when the gates open. So you better have a little bit of late speed to make up for that. Sonicus, the 1 horse, right there. But Admiral Hopper, that 4 horse, that green go horse, not only has a top early speed, but just a tick slower down the stretch than Sonicus. That tells me those 2 should be your top total pace horses. They are indeed well clear of David's Rose, Nike Con. A little bit of drop off from there. Still only 11 points separating top to bottom, Terry. Looks like a competitive race, but we both think the 4 will get the job done.
Yeah, I like Admiral Hopper. She won her last race at Gulfstream and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And the jockey trainer combination has been in the money 4 out of 5 starts in the last 14 days, winning 2 of those. The 3 Niki Can has finished in the money in 7 out of the last 8 races, winning 1 of the starts, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this combination has won 3 out of 3 starts, so they're perfect. Number 1, Sonicus, has the highest speed favorite at today's distance. Her best dirt speed, best all-weather speed is fast among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. David Rose finished second versus similar in his last race, and his best start speed, all-weather speed is fast among today's starters. It's tied. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick for, like Rich yesterday. I hit the last pick four yesterday. An $18 ticket, paid $453. So I'm excited to try again. Here, I'm going to use the 3-4 with the 3-8 with the 2-3-4. I'm going to finish up with the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 9. $36 ticket.
All right, I'm going to go quick because the horses are lining up for race number 2. Scary's got a horse that he likes there, as well does Christopher D'Souza. In the 6th race, really fast, I'm going to go with the 4-horse. This horse has won 3 out of 4 on Gulfstream all weather. When this horse has come off the bench like it is today on all weather, it's won every single one of them, all short sprints. Sonicus, the 1 horse, is your only class dropper. Resume says second start is going to be better than the first start, especially with a nice workout between races. David's Rose, the 5, really strong, all-weather record, in the money, 10 out of 15. Good chance to be on the lead. And then finally, 3, Nike Can. Classic third start off the layoff. It's a 23% winning angle for trainer Jose D'Angelo. Normally wins at 15%. That is an alpha angle. And for me, you see my pick 4 here. And then I'm going to do a $9 exacta box with the 1 and the 4. I don't know what happened to Terry. He disappeared. Hopefully he comes back. But in the meantime, race number 2 is about to kick off. And did Terry disappear? Where did Terry go? $1 triple, second race, 6, 7, 6 and all. So there we go, Gary. Let's see if they can all hit. And they're off and running in race number 2. Hope all is well with whatever Terry went off to. The 3-horse in race number 2 right now is your leader, Galio's Jewel. You got the 1 horse, Princess Cairo, the long shot on the rail, sitting comfortably in second. 2, its outside is the 5 horse, Justice Julia. The 6 horse, the big favorite in here right now at 1-5. Oof, that one's sitting in 4th. Probably about 2 lengths, 3 lengths off the leader. They ran an opening quarter in 23.5 seconds, so a little bit maybe on the quick side. We'll see. We have that front angle, which is horrible. Kind of hard to see what's going on there. They're going into the turn. The order really hasn't changed much. The 3-horse continues to have the lead. That 1-5 favorite right now starting to get into gear. The 5-horse sitting to the outside, kind of try to box him in, it looks like to me. The 7-horse has made its move. The 4-horse is jockey right now, Versify, kind of holding on to his horse a little bit. See if he's got a little bit, or either that or he doesn't think the horse has anything left, A or B. I'm not quite sure which one it is. The 6-horse has now moved wide where it wants to be, and it's going to win like a 1-5 horse should win. That's the way that race is going to go, folks. He's going to run away from it. The 2-horse looks like it's going to skedaddle up in there just to sky for second, and then the 3-horse is going to be your 3rd place horse. So 6-horse, 1-5, Terry Solo taking it home. Hope to beat that one. Looked like he was absolutely unbeatable, Terry.
All right.
All righty then. So that's not the start we want on the pick. I mean, it is for you because otherwise it was do or die. But we're going to need some prices on the back end in order to collect anything on those pick 4s because everybody and their brother has that guy.
Yeah, you see that 2 closed for second at 52-1.
Yeah, nice move right there.
These are races that I love to take that hard favorite and do a $1 exacta with a exacta box, key box.
Mm-hmm. Well, that one, you look at that one, it had been off for a year, right?
Yeah.
He had a maybe in there for me. Tyler Gaffleone, Charlie DeVoe. It was a maybe in there. The workouts were all right. I was looking at them. I was considering that one in there, but didn't do it. In any case, Race Masters, back from the store, got some beer and wine. All right.
All right, send us some.
That's probably that. Drinking beer and wine is probably the best way to spend your time with Terry and I, right?
Yeah.
There's no question. All right, Terry. Let's go on to race number 7.
All right.
I think.
Yeah, it's race 7. It's 5.5 furlongs, all weather, optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. It's a purse of $34,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds, which have started for a claiming price of $16,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than a maiden or a claiming price of $16,000.
Yeah, 5.5 furlongs, much like 5 furlongs. You better have a lot of octane, some juice in the gas when you get started because early speed wins and almost 50% of the time, 1 out of 2, you win the race to the quarter-mile marker, you can just call it right then and there, wave the checkered flag. So 1 out of 2 goes wire to wire. The inside 3 get a little bit of a small discount. 4 and out has an outside to in bias. So the farther you are from the rail, the better off you probably are in this 5.5 furlong affair. Is there any outside speed in race number 7, Terry?
There's a lot of different speed in here, and there is some outside speed, but the 3, 7, 1, and 8 show all the speed in here. And then the 3 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 4 has an overlay. Oh, the 4 is scratched, so we don't. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong race. Just the 3. That's the only overlay I see. And then none of them have any kind of par plus numbers. They all have some kind of C zone numbers.
Yeah, but still none of them a super high comfort zone. So pace is going to have to be right for most of them to find the perfect trip. The 3 horse, Devil at Midnight. If that guy can get to the lead, there's that lone E horse at a distance. 50% of the time, they go wire to wire. So getting to the front could be key. It may or may not get there. It does look like maybe reassess in Miguel's Bell, along with My Wife Knows It All. Don't they all? I saw a T-shirt one time, Terry. It was pretty funny. I almost got it. I was in Florida, down in Tarpon City. They have these little shops there, a lot of Greek stuff there.
Yeah.
In any case, there was a T-shirt shop that says, "Who needs Google? My wife knows it all."
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I was all going to get that one, but anyway. Now we lost the 3 women who watch us. I apologize. And anyhow, the late speed in here, Gus goes to Softster. That one is about a length quicker than everybody else, but most likely a length more than a length off. But still, most of them have a lot of speed in here, so there could be a melt up. Late speed, total speed, Party Shaker, and Devil at Midnight, a little bit quicker than the rest, Terry. This looks like a pretty competitive race from top to bottom with only 9 points separating worst from first. You're going to go with, well, you couldn't go any other way, Terry.
No, I couldn't. I have to go with the 8, which is my pick of the day. My wife knows it all. She won her debut race at Gulfstream Park, has a high percentage winning trainer, and she has a really good workout on March 14th. Devil at Midnight is the 3. My second choice, ran second versus similar in her last race. Her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a good workout on March 13th. Party Shaker, the 2, finished third versus similar in her last race and does well at today's distance. The 7 is my long shot, won her last race at Gulfstream Park and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet $15 to win on the 8 and then a $3 double. I'm going to use the 8 with the 2, 3, 4.
So I'm going to start off with the 3 horse in here, Terry, as my top selection. That one is Devil at Midnight. That has the lone E potential. I think that one's going to get to the front today, Terry. That had a blazing workout. I think 4 furlongs in 46 seconds, something like that. That's almost in-race type number. So you're going to see a razor-sharp Devil at Midnight. If not, My Wife Knows It All will know its way to the winner's circle in there, Terry. This one is going to make its second career start. Doesn't need a whole lot of second race improvement to find the winner's circle. Softster, the 5. Third choice for me, Mr. Terry. 2 best speed figures were the 2 times that the horse ran short sprints on all weather. So the horse jock, the trainer and owner finally decided, well, perhaps that's where that horse should be. And it did show some better pace last out. Finally, Party Shaker, the 2 horse is my final call. Exact same pace setup as the 3 horse. Solid second place at this level after being bumped in its last start. So if you like the 3, you kind of got to like the 2 as well. Race number 8, the beginning of the late daily double, Terry. What are they going to? We're going to see this one again, huh?
Yeah, they're going to go back to 1 mile and 70 yards, all-weather track, allowance race with $50,000 allowance cost, and the purse of $42,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $50,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than maiden claiming state bred allowance, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. You get that shirt, and then you sleep on the couch for a month.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Terry? That shirt. Yeah. The Google shirt. Yeah.
And also, we want to say hello to Cartal. He, like in race 6, he liked the 4 and the 1. So
Mm-hmm.
And there's
then
Gary
go ahead.
Charles Harmon. He's the next guy we haven't talked about. He likes triples.
Second race, 6-7,
All
6-7. The 6-horse did win.
it
I don't
did.
know. I don't know where the 7-horse finished. He finished fourth, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It would have been a nice trifecta too, because the trifecta for $1 for 50 cents paid $102.
That's
The
right.
exacta for $1, the 6 with that 52-1 shot in there, paid $38.10. Yeah.
And he's
So
playing triples. He's playing pick threes, I think.
6 all 7 triples. Okay, yeah. Could be that too. I don't know. Some language for triples are trifectas too. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
All right, Terry, 15 to win. Pick of the day, race number 7, the 1-horse.
All right.
Was that your pick of the day, race 2, Terry?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you're going to try to make it 4 for 4. Triple. So when you say triple, Gary, do you mean pick 3 or do you mean trifecta? So you need them to go 1, 2, 3, or the winner in 3 consecutive races? Because Terry thinks you mean pick 3. So the winner in 3 races. I have it as a trifecta. That's, I don't know. Language is a little different. All right. Mile and 70 yards, Terry. We've talked a bunch of times. Trifectas. Okay. Hopefully we can find some trifectas in race number 8. Terry, with our top 3 picks. We talked about a mile and 70 yards a bunch of times. Stalkers, nearly 1 in 4 go wire to wire. Post position wise, you're probably a little bit better off on the inside than you are on the outside, especially if you wear the 8 or higher in race number 8. Terry, not an issue again with only 7 horses. And again, we find a very competitive start with a couple that have a little bit more burn at the beginning.
Yep, that's right. They all show speed, but the 3 and the 2 show the most. The 3 has an overlay from about just over even money to 2 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 7 to 2. 3, 4, 2, and 5 show par plus numbers, and all but the 3 has some kind of C zone numbers.
Again, the comfort zone numbers a little bit on the low side, though. Again, they're all going to be stressed a little bit in this race. Most of the field wants to be middle back. That gives the horses that get to the front, as we see in the profile of a winner, an advantage. The 3-horse, Ali Bear, that's a closer whose normal early speed, along with the 6-horse, going to put those on the front. So maybe a couple left arrow horses in here, Terry, to kind of get your eye on, especially if they have some late speed. And look at that. Ali Bear has the most late speed as well. As I say, you got the most early speed, you got the most late speed. It's kind of difficult to pass what you can't catch. Also, you got to figure that one's going to have the most total pace. It does. 4 points clear of Wicked Mercury. They're a little bit better than Starship. They kind of ratchet down a little bit. Who knows? Maybe this race will end 3, 4, 6, 5, 7, 2, 1. Bet it in that order and see what happens. Terry, what do you think?
Well, I think that 4 is going to win this race. The Wicked Mercury. She ran second in her last race at Gulfstream Park, and her best all-weather speed is fast as among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Queen Matcha, the 7, is my second choice, finishing the money in 5 out of the last 6 races, winning one of the starts, and has a high percentage winning trainer. Alibar, the 3, is my third pick. She ran second on the turf in her last race and has the highest last speed rating. Okay, fine. 7 is my long shot. She has won 2 out of her last 3 races, has the highest last speed rating, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Only bets I have are the normal ones we do because I'm out of money.
El Cuatro, Wicked Mercury, going to be the winner here. Probably Terry in the third start after a layoff. Fan of the all-weather. 2 wins, 2 seconds. Maybe a little bit of a concern that this horse is back in just 15 days, though it's done it before and ran a very similar race to the one it did prior to that. Ali Bear, the 3-horse. Terry, that might be your winner in there. Any of its last 3 races are more than good enough to win here. 3 really good workouts between starts equals more fitness for Ali Bar, the top total pace horse. Starship Pioneer, 6-horse. A little bit of a price there, Terry. 12 to 1. Hey, Simod say let's get 100 to 1. I'd be all for that. This one's making its second career start. Any typical improvement makes her competitive, but if she gets the max improvement, it would actually make her the winner. Finally, number 7. Okay, fine, Terry. Now a lot of arguments are settled, right?
That's right.
This one, it was a really hard call for me over the 2-horse, Queen Matcha, in here. And maybe I read too much into this stuff, but jockey Jose Ortiz rode both of these horses in their last 3 starts. He's going to be on the 7 today and not on the 2. So I thought, well, maybe the David Carlos is the first up trainer, but he's only ridden for David Carlos 6 times. When we had him on the Horse Center show, I asked him this question specifically. When there's a choice in horses, how is that made? Like when you rode a horse and another horse. And he says, usually he makes the call and he picks the one he thinks has a better chance to win. So I'm riding with Jose Ortiz on this one, Terry.
All right.
Okay, fine in there. And then one final thing before we move off to the next race. If you haven't done so already, I'm going to put a link here. Race 8 for Christopher D'Souza likes the 2, the 3, and the 5. And I would like, if you haven't done so and you're watching on Twitter, I'm going to put a link in the comment section right now to our YouTube channel, Horse Racing Radar TV. Kindly click on that link. Go on over to the Horse Racing Radar TV station over on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on all of our social sites. If you're watching on Twitter, kindly retweets. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the share button, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Any interaction, comments on any of the social sites helps them with our algorithms. And that is a very easy way to help the show grow and build our family. Last race of this week for you and me, Terry, before I return tomorrow with 22-1 Tom for a replay, hopefully, of our last week at Rose Hill. Race number 9, another repeat performance in terms of distance today.
Yeah, it's 7.5 furlongs on the turf. It's optional claiming, $62,500 claiming price, and it's got a nice $92,000 purse. And it's for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won $12,000 twice, other than maiden, claiming, starter, or restricted, or which have never won 3 races, or which have not won a race since June 21st, 2023, or a claiming price of $62,500.
They wanted to make sure you got your work in before the weekend to Terry to earn your minimum wage.
Yeah.
When I say minimum, I mean absolute minimum. All right, 7.5 furlongs, folks, for the last race for Terry and I this week is going to favor horses with some speed. 27% of the time they do go wire to wire. Nice rail bonus from my Sea Cottage. 2 through 7 play under par, 8 and out. Again, is the best place to be if there's that many horses in race number 9. And there's exactly 9 horses, Terry. And the one on the outside will be burning turf.
That's right. That's right. You're sure right about that. That 9 shows all the speed that you want to see there compared to what's in there. But the 1 might have something to say about that, and also the 7. And then the 4 shows an overlay of about 2-1 to 6-1. 4, 5, and 2 have par plus numbers. And then all of them should show some kind of a C-zone number, although the 9 has a very low one.
Yeah, it might not be too happy with that front runner status. The last time today, we're going to look at trip handicapping. 1, 3, 5 want to be on the lead. Got a quartet of versatile horses sitting behind that. 2 horse wants to close. So let's see if that race stacks up like that. The 1 horse should be on the lead. The 3 and 5 may not be where they want to be, although they got enough speed to pressure My Cottage Sea and be a part of that early part of the race. Ruse, the 3 horse, front runner. If that one gets the lead, Terry also has some late speed to go with it. So look out at a price if Ruse can get the job done early. Our top total pace horse says JP Hellish. A little bit quicker than Ruse. They're all kind of in a tight mix here, the 3, 4, 5, and 7. And you got a couple that are right behind there, too. So the closing race looks like a wide open affair. Terry, how are you going to close it out?
Well, I'm going to go for what I think is going to be a long shot. The 1 horse, My Sea Cottage. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 2 English Bees, my second choice. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. So then I like Stat, the 5. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who horses win 28% of the races when he takes a horse from a route to a sprint. And then the 7, American Speed. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park and has a high percentage winning jockey. That's my long shot.
So Race Master says is race 9 considered a sprint. And then Christopher D'Souza says the 2 will win, whether it's a sprint or a route.
Yeah.
I know that the definition is what, 8 furlong, under a mile is a route, and anything over a mile is considered Under a mile is a sprint, right?
Yeah, under a mile sprint. Although some people think it has to be under 7 furlongs. But
well, for me, I think a better definition is, so sometimes you have 1-turn miles, right?
yeah,
And they tend to, even though it's a route, they tend to act a little bit more like a sprint.
mm-hmm.
And then here we have a 2-turn 7.5 furlong race. I think most 2-turn races, you have to consider them to be routes.
Yeah.
Unless it's like at, like Charlestown, where 2 turns is 4 furlongs.
Yeah. Or Ferndale.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
then if it's considered a sprint, then Stat is the winner. Well, speed does win here. It does win, as we mentioned, about 30% of the time. So I do think fitness matters because you got those 2 turns. So it's probably a tweener that leans a little bit more towards a route, but does have some sprint characteristics. I hope you're right that Race Masters at the 5 is the winner, Stat, because that is the one that I've put at the top of my ticket. So 2 great minds think alike. I best get out to the store, get some beer and wine, although I haven't had a drink in about 30 some odd years. So I'll start today, Terry. Last time out, that did go wire to wire at a mile. So cutting back to 7.5 furlongs should help that horse today. And it's CV, says the second race after a layoff, to expect either small improvement or maybe a lot of improvement, but better than last time. My Sea Cottage, the 1 horse, Terry's top pick, my second choice in here. This one, Gulfstream Grass, is absolutely 1,000% its game. 9 races, 3 wins, 4 thirds. You put that horse on any other surface in its 10 races, 1 win, 1 second, and a couple of thirds, and likes to run well off the bench as it is today. Number 1, J.P. Hellish. This is number 4, J.P. Hellish, excuse me. Third selection for me, one that's really consistent in terms of its performance. It is our simulation favorite in here too. And this horse probably ran way too fast last time out. So, and that was after steadying at the start. So not only did it run way too fast, but kind of rushed up into the fractions there. A little cleaner start today for JP Hellish. And finally, English B. It was a tough call for me over Burn and Turf, that likely front runner. But it is probably has the most back class in the field. I think there's no question about that. But it's 8 years old, came off the bench in its 8-year-old debut, kind of ran an uninspiring, we'll put it that way, effort. Let's see if he tunes it up in round 2 after a layoff, but maybe he's just at the end of his career and said, you know what, I've had enough. Off to the meadows I go, and call it a career. All right, Terry. Here are our full picks today. Race number 1. I think, who won race number 1, Terry?
Oh, geez, I can't remember.
that oldness is kicking in, right?
Yeah, it is.
Race number 1 was won by the 1 horse in here, our third pick. Now I remember. Then that 1 to 5 shot, won that second race in there. Took a crack to beat it. None of those horses showed up, unfortunately. So hopefully some of the other ones that we picked here, Terry, will find their way through. Maybe a nice little price in race number 3 for our pick 4s that we put together for Don Johnson. You and I are done for this week, Terry. Again, tomorrow, Tom and I, for Foreign Fridays at Rose Hill in Australia. Free track of the day today is LA Downs, Louisiana Downs. A link down in the description below. Kindly use that so they know where you're coming from. And then that's it, Terry. Any final thoughts for you as we part for the week?
Well, Harry Cherry was wondering about Aqueduct results. So in the first race there, the 2 Ava's Uncle Billy won. The 6 was second. The 1 was third. And in the second race, the 4 Red DGP won. The 6 second, the 5 third. And then the third race is coming up. And then
Christopher going to get a little crazy here in race number 3. He's going to put a hundo to win on the 4 horse.
Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I thought the other one was your pick of the day when you were going after that, right?
Well, maybe he's going to put 200 on that other one.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you, Gary. We hope you have a great day as well. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to everybody for joining us. If you like what you saw today, again, any interaction at all with the social sites, retweets, commenting on what we do, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or Yahoo, not Yahoo, YouTube, Kindly, of course, follow us on all of our social sites. They are scrolling down there below. Horse Race, the number 2 day. YouTube is Horse Racing Radar TV. I did put a link in the comments. Kindly go over there and subscribe. Help us get the 5,000 and then help us get the 10,000. You can help by getting the word out by clicking the share button and then sharing our show with all of your friends, whether they like horse racing or not. They certainly will like Terry. They may be a little more indifferent towards me. No question about that. All right, Terry, that wraps it up for you and me this week. Any final thoughts from you before we get out of here?
Yeah, just be careful, and you just never know what's going to happen. So really let your loved ones and friends know how you feel about them, especially if you love them. And just have a great rest of the week. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah, indeed. We at Parks, we started the show. We're going to end the show, as Terry mentioned. It all came too close to home yesterday. I mean, just right at the heart of horse racing. Our good friend George Bryant passed away last night. We certainly hope that his soul rests for eternity in peace. And Terry, hopefully he spends the rest of his life, eternal life, in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic Thursday.